Morning, everybody. My name's Emily, and I work at a company called the Institute of the Motor Industry. Now, when I say motor industry, that can mean an awful lot of different things. So, if I asked you, I think we've got a few more technical difficulties.
Why isn't your presentation on?
So, just while we're waiting for it to, there we go, come back.
Yeah, there you go.
If I said to you, jobs in the motor industry, can anyone think of a job in the motor industry? Oh, sorry, lady over there.
Mechanic.
Mechanic is one, yeah. Can anyone think of any other jobs that you could do if you worked in the motor industry?
Engineering.
Engineering is part of the motor industry. That's where they build cars. What we look after is called retail motor industry. So it's once the car or the bike or the lorry has left the factory, it's been built, it leaves the factory and it goes out into the world. So some other jobs that you could have said: the people that drive the big lorries, that deliver lots of groceries to the supermarket, that deliver clothes to shops, they work in the motor industry. Delivery drivers that deliver packages from Amazon, or your Tesco shopping drivers, DHL, UPS, they're all in the motor industry. Someone that might drive you to school, a taxi driver, someone like that. Buses, passenger transport, people that drive buses and coaches. You might have come here on a coach. Probably a favourite one, Formula One drivers, race car drivers, everyone likes them. Motorbikes. Motorbikes are also in the motor industry. So anyone that has one, rides one, looks after one. People that design games have to know an awful lot about the motor industry. And emergency services, policemen, firemen, they all have to be trained to drive properly on the roads. So basically, the motor industry and everyone that works in it help keep our country moving. Now, did you know that there are more computers in a modern car than there were on the spaceship that went to the moon? That's true. The car that your mum or your dad or anyone drives is more advanced than the Apollo spaceship was. So, how do you get into the motor industry? Well, over 160 different jobs, and you could start off as an apprentice, earning about £7,000 a year. And you could go all the way up to running your own business, or even one day being a race driver. And I'm sure you could probably guess how much Lewis Hamilton earns. That's probably a few millions, plus all the free hair care products he wants. Lots and lots of qualifications and routes into the industry. You can go many, many different ways. We have a lot of them on our website. And you can do apprenticeships, degrees, graduate routes, internships, traineeships, loads of different ways. Rally drivers have to wear their blood type on their helmet and overalls in case they're injured in a crash. Nice gruesome fact about rally driving. So we're here for the finals of the Skill Auto competition, which sees young people competing in paint, body repair and technical. They've been through regional heats and they are the 6th best in the country in their stream. They're competing just further up the hall here on the automotive stands. Really, really good. I'd go and have a look. The paint sprayers are currently spray painting bonnets when I was last there. And these guys have got a very bright future. Just being involved in Skill Auto and getting to the final, we've had Ben Eaton. Ben is a young man. He's one of our judges this year. He won previously, and he now spray paints Formula One cars for a living. That's what he does. Ross and Dean, one's in Australia, one owns their own business. Mark Yates, who will actually be speaking here on Saturday, works for a Premier Racing team as a technician. And we've had a lot of competitors that have got to the finals that have received job offers just for getting here. Paint on a Ferrari F40 is so thin that you can see the fibre weave through it. So that paint is probably thinner than the jumpers you're wearing, and that's what covers a Ferrari. It makes it light and it makes it fast. So of all the job roles in the industry, we mentioned mechanic and we mentioned engineer. Well, they're both technical roles. You're working on cars, you're fixing them, building them, and there are a lot of other technical roles, but there are also non-technical. Sales, selling cars, selling car parts, paint spraying, marketing. Whenever there's a big new car launch for the latest new Mercedes or Jaguar or Audi, then a lot of work and a big team of marketing and promotional people come up with the TV adverts and the magazine adverts. And as well, there are IT people, customer service. So there's a lot of different roles within the industry. Apprentice engineer at Bentley, we spoke to a young man who at 18 years old is employed to test drive Bentleys on tracks around the world at over 200 miles an hour. That's his job. All day, every day, driving a car round a track at over 200 miles an hour. I think that's a pretty cool job. We also spoke to a race director at Santa Pod Raceway. These drag cars can reach over 300 miles an hour, and it's his job to make sure that there's nothing on the track, that everything's set up. One stone on that track with a car going that fast, and it could be very, very dangerous. I said 160 job roles. There they are. There are a lot, more than I've got time to go through in this. But as you can see, it's really, really varied, and there is everything from entry-level starting point right up to owning a dealership or even a chain of dealerships. There really is something for everyone. It's a fantastic industry. It's really, really exciting, and there's so much you can do. So I've got a few ladies in the audience. Did you know that it was a woman that invented the windscreen wiper, the spark plug, and the brake pad? See, men might have invented the turbo, but they wouldn't be anything without brakes. So, and on the theme of women in the industry, there are some really inspirational stories about women in our industry. Claire Williams is the deputy team principal of Williams F1. Jolene Van Voorp, some of you may have seen her. She's on Nitro Circus, and she's a stunt rider, a motorbike stunt rider. Susie Wolf, a very, very possible future candidate to be a Formula One driver, a British Formula One driver. And the vice principal at GM Motors, Mary came up from an apprentice. She apprenticed in the workshop, actually building the cars, and she's now deputy general for the entire company. She's been ranked the 41st most powerful woman in a Forbes magazine interview. Here's a fact. The world's record for the fastest motorised toilet is 46 miles an hour. Hands up if you knew that. No. That was Jolene, the stunt rider that I told you about. So routes into the industry. If you're 16 to 18, you can go to college, you can do a BTEC, you can do VCQ. Further educational courses are all entry routes. Obviously, there are apprenticeships and higher apprenticeships. You can go to college and do one of them. You can apply to become an apprentice for one of the main manufacturers. So you can apply to BMW or Jaguar Land Rover or Honda, and they have apprenticeship training schemes. You spend most of your time working in one of their centres, and then they take you out for 2 or 4 weeks of a term, and you stay on site at their training academy in a hotel or in dorm rooms, and you do your block training there. They're very good schemes, and a lot of people don't know about them. So it's a really good place to look for an apprenticeship if you're not sure. 18 to 24, there are a lot of graduate schemes for different things, mainly into marketing, business management, finance. All of those involve graduate schemes. So you go to university, you might be sponsored by the company to do your degree, and then you'd spend a year going around and learning about all the different departments in the company before you make your mind up on where you'd like to settle and work. Obviously, university is a popular route for a lot of people. If you were looking at going into the engineering side, you'd probably look at going to university and doing an engineering degree. Same with car design. But we've had very successful car salespeople that have done degrees in sports science, for example. You might not think sports science really works with the motor industry, but leading a team is all about coaching people and getting them to listen when you're telling them what to do, and you become very good at talking to people. And they make very, very good car salespeople. We have two 21-year-olds currently working in a very nice BMW dealership, and apparently they are selling incredibly well. They're outstripping some of the full-time sales employees. So any degree can be transferable. A new Range Rover has 12 stone of wiring in it. Can you imagine trying to find an electrical fault on that? Someone brings a car in and says, my heated seat isn't working. How many wires are you going to have to go through to find the one that's at fault? It's really complicated. Modern cars technology is advancing so fast. And the amount of wiring and computers, DVD screens, MP3, Bluetooth that is in a modern car means that the people working on the car now need to know more and more. So they don't just need to know how the car works and how to fix it, if it's got a flat tyre or it needs a new exhaust. They need to be able to look at all of the wiring and all of the electronics, work out what goes where and how to fix it as quickly as they can so that the customer gets their car back. It's very, very complicated, and the guys we've got working over on the Skill Auto competitions in the automotive section are really, really good at it. We have a website called Auto City where there's lots and lots of careers information. There's all sorts on every different job role. We have videos of people actually doing the jobs in the world of work. You can find out how much you could earn if you did the job, what qualifications you need, and even where you can apply for apprenticeships and training. We've got a quiz on there. So you do a 10-question quiz, and then it suggests to you, based on what you like doing and what you don't like, what kind of job you might be good at within the motor industry. Career pathway maps, so that shows you how you get from being an apprentice right the way up to owning your own company, how many steps it will take and what you need to do to get there. There are job vacancies on there and apprenticeship vacancies. You can apply directly for jobs or training, and there's also help on there, there's support. So if you're not sure how to apply for an apprenticeship or for a college course, if you don't know what to write in your CV or what your CV should be, there's all of that information on there, as well as some really good advice on if you have to go for an interview for college or a job. Interviews can be scary, and a lot of people let their nerves get in the way, which is fine. Employers expect you to be nervous. But there's little hints and tricks on there that can help you. For the ladies, a really good tip at an interview is never have your handbag on your right shoulder. Because you'll go to shake hands with someone, the bag will fall off your shoulder, it will make your arm go all wobbly, and it's just a bad start. Always put your handbag on your left shoulder at an interview. Men, same applies if you have a handbag. We've got a training needs review tool for those who are slightly older and maybe looking to progress your career, maybe looking to move up the ranks, or you want to change in direction. This looks at what you currently have and what you might need to do the role that you want to do. First Gear and Accelerate, these are our young communities. So if you're 13 to 16 or 16 to 24, you can join them. It's free for First Gear for our 13 to 16-year-olds. You get a free USB stick, and we do loads of competitions, days out, prizes, as well as giving you access to free events, industry training, and careers advice whenever you need it. Hubcap is for teachers. It's the hub for careers and academic professionals. We have a lot of free teaching resources on there, all available to download. Anything from maths, IT and literacy through to employability skills. And Headlight are the teaching resources that come with full student packs, teacher packs and lesson plans. We've got full PowerPoint presentations, student handouts and worksheets. There you go. I bet you always wanted to know how many cars were named after animals. I think I got to about 7. I'm not sure there are 33. I couldn't think of 33. But anyway, apparently there are. They don't all have a dog in the seat. Anyway, that's a bit about the motor industry. It really is a fantastic place to work, no matter what you do. Whether you're technical, whether you want to get your hands on and fix cars or paint them, or whether you want to be a test driver, or even if you want to sell them or promote them. There really is something for absolutely everyone in the industry. So I hope you will consider it. Please do go and see our guys on the automotive competitions. They're doing really well. They've worked really, really hard to get here, and we're very proud of them. And their futures could go absolutely anywhere. And it could be you. In a few years' time, you could be on that stage in that final. So come and see us. We're on the stand. We've got loads of literature, and I'm sure there's some free pens there as well. But I hope you've enjoyed it. And does anybody have any questions?